enjoyed with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life with a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get a chance to start my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, check this out. Something that came across my mind today is understanding and being the fact that it makes sense to me now why in my life I've had reoccurring energy come from the same people. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are scientific terms for people who process emotions differently than us. And you can call them a sociopath, you can call them narcissistic, you can call them whatever you want to call them. But to me, they're regular people. You know what I'm saying? And how they grew up interprets how they choose to process information. Doesn't mean they're any less smarter. They're actually very smart. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean they're any less of a person. They're still very, you feel me, good people at the center of their soul. You know what I'm saying? And the way they choose to show affection and emotion to other people is simply really different from how the normal average person processes emotions. You know what I'm saying? And in life, because you may have the ability to process emotions in a way where your ability to show love is different from everybody else. Like, some people show love through gift giving, money giving. You know what I'm saying? The interpretation of their emotions may not come off like how somebody else would, you know what I'm saying, know how to interpret their emotions. So you got to understand why that type of energy is so attracted to people that who know how to verbally express their emotions, or, you know what I'm saying, who give concrete solutions to problems, as whereas they may need a little help, they may need a little work, but they're extremely attracted to the opposite energy because they want to study and learn. Now, again, it can go one of two ways, but if you think about it, for me personally, it was a blessing. It was not anything wrong with, you know what I'm saying, how they choose to show emotion, simply because of the fact that you can say the ex is this, you can say the ex is that, but I was in love with my ex for real. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a side to this person that nobody else saw. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you can see through a person and accept them from who they are makes them more comfortable to be able to do right. You know what I'm saying? Now, to me, I would think that this person, you know what I'm saying, due to how they interpret emotion, how they grew up in life, this person is a criminal. This person is bad. This person does this. This person does that. You know what I'm saying? That was the label. That was the stigmatism for them. But I beg to differ, because I feel like when you give a person who thinks and operates differently a different way of life, they tend to back off, you feel me, from all the labels that people made them out to be. You know what I'm saying? It is not until they get to a point where sometimes they may feel as if a person is too good to be true, or once a person truly discovers who they are fully, they're going to leave. So before they can even feel the feeling of that, they leave first. You know what I'm saying? Because they know deep down inside that they're different people, or they process and how they live differently from someone else. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes it could be designed and set up like that because maybe they choose, you know what I'm saying, to let their emotions and how they process things, because it's so different from regular human behavior, they paint it to be something bad. They paint it to be something dark, so they start operating in a way where it shows negative behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already that label anyway, but I'm just different. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I got a different observation, and I learned how to understand these people in a different way. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they don't know how to love. It's not that, you know what I'm saying, they don't want love. It's just that them being so different in life and perceiving life and emotions differently, they've been an outcast their whole life. So to them, you know what I'm saying, knowing that they're so different and they don't fit in with everyone else, how about I protect myself first before I allow anyone to hurt me? You know what I'm saying? And this is just basically not putting a label on those type of behaviors, simply because some of those behaviors are me as well. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I was one who loved hard and was extra sensitive, I didn't have that exterior where you cut it off. You know what I'm saying? You don't give it too much. I didn't know how to do that. So I reciprocated to the people in turn who took you loving them too much because of who they were and their differences. They felt like they weren't able to be loved because of them being so different. So they took that and abused it instead of treating it right, which in turn hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And then for the flip side is those people, they don't genuinely believe that someone can actually love and care about them because of them being so different. So they tend to isolate themselves and they tend to be alone. And listen, when it clicked for me, I started to understand how different I am from others, but also the same. You know what I'm saying? I started to put myself in my granny's shoes. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why she isolated herself and the reason why she stayed away a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't want to be rejected for being who she was. And it may have came off negative simply because people painted her as being different as negative. You know what I'm saying? And made her feel like who she was a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? It made me understand, you feel me, my ex's position more, because now I'm in a position to where some people's spirit just don't like me, period. Don't know me from a can of paint, don't know what I stand for. They just can't stand to be around me. You know what I'm saying? They got these smirks and these looks, you feel me, because of the simple fact that I'm someone that pushes truth, you know what I'm saying, that will be able to shake that demeanor of feeling as if you're someone that has to be mean and angry because you are looked at as different. You know what I'm saying? So imagine thinking that way your whole life, and then all of a sudden now, you know what I'm saying, it's time to fully be yourself. It's kind of hard to adjust, you feel me? And it's, just trust me, it's a work in progress. It's something that you have to learn, but at the same time, you're still affected by your past. And this is just coming from someone who's experienced. Like, I still feel affected by playing small, simply because I was led to feel small my whole life. So sometimes I don't fully be who I know I can be, you feel me, because I've been taught that. And I have to basically talk myself out of that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, be big. So what if it hurt people's feelings? Be you. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a lot of courage. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a society that basically labels these people, you know what I'm saying, as bad people, simply because they interpret the world a little differently, you got to imagine what that creates. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just coming from a standpoint of basically having a deeper understanding. So say for instance, you were different your whole life, you know what I'm saying, and you were basically treated as an outcast. You know what I'm saying? People were always ready to give up on you. People were always ready to leave you. People were always ready to leave you alone by yourself. You know what I'm saying? With no resources, nothing to fend for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It causes you to, let me just use an example. If you hungry and you don't have no resources, you don't have nobody teaching you what to do, you know what I'm saying, where to go to get food, your automatic instinct is to go out and steal something from the store. And when you get caught, not have no emotion towards it at all. Because in your mind, it's the basic need for survival. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no help. I don't have nobody teaching me where to go, what to do. You feel me? I've been left in the rain on my own. So if I'm hungry, the only thing I know how to do is take it. And I'm not going to feel sorry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to have no remorse for it, because in my mind, I think that's the correct thing to do, because I'm in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Same as for, you know what I'm saying, anybody who takes anything that don't belong to them as far as survival. Now, me personally, you can survive without having to do that. But you just have to use your brain to use the resources that are available to you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you can be able to survive in a world where it's dark, you can be able to survive in a world where it's light. You mix the two together, you know what I'm saying, and you can create an outcome to where you don't have to give your time and energy to some place that won't allow you to prosper and grow. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm just going to be honest. Coming from someone who's been to prison, I wouldn't recommend that for nobody. You know what I'm saying? That is not a place where you want to go and live your life and then paint it like it's good. It ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? You can learn how to operate around it, but then you got to think that there are people that are so like I feel like they separate men from women, because men think differently than women do. But I beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some women I have encountered who also process life like men do. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. It's just not being able to handle your emotions and what to do with them, no matter what you went through in life. You feel me? So, in basically, I should say the masculine side of energy is, I don't want to go without. I don't want to have less than. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to know what to do when I get to that point. So it's money, 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 money. You know what I'm saying? And I may be subjected to detach apart from the part where I figure out how to handle my emotions. I figure out how to make solutions that don't involve money, but involve the growth of my soul, to be able to handle it every time it comes around. So sometimes that's where the feminine energy is needed. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we all connected as one. Whether people want to accept it or neglect it, doesn't matter, however you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? But it's needed. And I've come to the understanding of realizing why it was so easy, you know what I'm saying, for me to submit naturally to someone that was able to control me in a way where, you know what I'm saying, it was naturally submissive. Like, I didn't feel controlled. You know what I'm saying? As whereas if you're around someone that's not safe, you're gonna feel like them telling you what to do is not okay. Like, don't tell me what to do like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a control power thing for them. But when someone is naturally doing it, you feel me, and coming from a space where they care, you naturally submit to where it's not no argument. You feel me? It's not no battle between the two. So I learned that just from being around people like this my whole life, is that there are a certain group of people that process emotions differently. How they process living in life and love is completely different from, you know what I'm saying, should I say, the people of my caliber will process emotions and love. And the only thing that makes it bond together is the fact that these people get with those people who process love and emotions differently to be able to learn. As well as, like, someone of my caliber may get with people who are self-centered and only think about themselves to learn something from them that I didn't have. I didn't know how to put myself first. You know what I'm saying? Because I was too busy caring about everybody all the time. As well as these people know how to completely cut people off and put themselves first. You know what I'm saying? But it's a mix of both, because they also know how to show love in a way where it's caring, respectful, you know what I'm saying, and loving. And my oldest, wisest example of that would probably be my grandmother. Like, I know she loved me. I know she cared. And it was times where when I didn't have no one to call and I get in a situation, I call her, she gonna bend over backwards and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? If I catch a flat tire, she gonna figure out a solution on how to make sure I get my tire together. You know what I'm saying? But there were days when, you feel me, she throw the hammer on my head. You feel me? I'm gonna make uncomfortable situations for you simply because you possess a side of energy that I don't have. And because I don't have it, I need to figure out how you would handle certain situations. You know what I'm saying? And then once she figures out that I get through that, she comes back in with that respectful, loving demeanor. You know what I'm saying? So I experienced both sides with her. You know what I'm saying? She was this mean, aggressive granny sometimes, but I realized that was because that was the side of her that didn't have what I had. You know what I'm saying? She don't hate me. She actually loves me, but it's going to be times where you have to learn how to deal with that side of her because that's her. You know what I'm saying? So I never hated her. You know what I'm saying? I never disloved her. Maybe times I got really upset at her, you know what I'm saying? But I always was there to help her as much as I can. I always was there to show her love as much as I could. And I felt like that made more of her femininity show. But there were going to be times she going to spaz on you. You know what I'm saying? She going to make life difficult for you on purpose, even though you ain't doing nothing wrong. Simply because you embody an energy that she's trying to figure out how to articulate for herself. You know what I'm saying? And basically trying to process what you would do in a certain situation could help her try to process and handle her trauma and how to deal with it in life. You know what I'm saying? And that just comes from me understanding these people. Like, I don't know what it is about me, but I understand them and how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when they feel you're getting too close, they'll come up with anything. You know what I'm saying? Fights, you know what I'm saying? Anything to just basically reject you away. Like, they feel like you too good to be true. They feel like it's an act. You know what I'm saying? They feel like it's fake, that you really love them for real. You know what I'm saying? And so they'll do all type of things to try to see if it's real. And then when you actually walk away, they're left feeling this emptiness. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, I really pushed somebody away that genuinely cared about me and loved me simply because I perceived myself to be so different my whole life that I couldn't handle the fact of someone really caring about me and understanding me. And I think that's truly just coming from my place in life, is because I felt that same way. Imagine growing up feeling like an outcast, feeling so isolated, you know what I'm saying? Feeling abandoned, feeling alone, you know? And that's because it was the yin and yang. When you put the yin and the yang together, you know what I'm saying? It creates a balance in life to where I think it's now finally going to get to a point where we start to become more understanding. You know what I'm saying? Certain environments push you into not understanding who you are. Certain situations push you into feeling certain emotions you're not supposed to feel, that's not regular, that puts you into, you feel me, the fight or flight mode. You know what I'm saying? And then people tend to make you feel bad about it. How you gonna make me feel bad about something you threw me into? You put me in the fire and then got mad about how I reacted. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that to people. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I learned is that when these people feel safe, you know what I'm saying, you can alleviate all criminal behavior. You can alleviate all bad judgment. You know what I'm saying? You can alleviate the danger zones of these people simply because they feel safe. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they're finally at a place in life where they feel safe enough to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I gotta just be real. Being with the ex I was with, we had a good life. And that I can honestly say, we got off parole at the same time together. You know what I'm saying? That person wasn't committing any dangerous activity. You know what I'm saying? They was working, they was doing good. You know what I'm saying? Because now they finally felt accepted in a world that made them feel rejected. And I understand now how that can build up a demeanor of a person to make them feel as if now they have to be this type of person that everyone paints them to be, because being different is not allowed in this world, because people want you to function and act the same. And they're actually very clever, very smart, very intuitive, very loving, very compassionate, right? But they just do it in a different way. And you have to have some patience with them. You know what I'm saying? You have to have some understanding with them. But I promise you, it will work itself out. You know what I'm saying? If you allow these people to be themselves in a world where it's not okay to be yourself. And I'm just speaking from observation as well. You know what I'm saying? Because all my life I felt like an outcast. And only way I felt accepted is when I was doing what everybody else wanted me to do. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't want to do it, I was doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just so I could be liked and loved. Because me not engaging in those things and engaging in what I wanted to engage in was so different that you will be painted as an outcast. People will make you feel like it is not okay. And I got to a point where now I don't care. I'm going to be myself 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? But think of how you make certain people out to be a certain way when you put them in a box because they process life differently. And that's not related to no gender. It's humans in general. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to the circumstances, what you're feeding them. You know what I'm saying? How you're telling them how to be. That creates a different pathway for their mind. You know, doesn't mean they're any less of a person. Listen, I was fully in love. You know what I'm saying? With my ex. Listen. I love my grandma with everything I have. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody that ever went against me. You know what I'm saying? With everything I have. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm different. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in pairing back up because you only get one life. But see, I'm different. When you have the internet and everybody else telling you, oh, don't go back, don't do that. I don't care about what the internet say. I do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you are willing to accept me for who I am, you're going to put in the work. Period. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm going to be on guard when I allow you back into my life. But I feel like at the end of the day, I really don't even have to do that because the universe is going to do it for me. You will not be able to come back around me until you actually 100% come as yourself, no mask. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm checking everything at the door. It's a fee. It's a fee at the door, baby. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with me. You feel me? Everything. Run it up. You know what I'm saying? So, being able to have a bond with these people, like, I felt safe with them. You feel me? I felt accepted in their world. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for these people to be accepted into mine, which means you have to understand that you're dealing with someone that knows you're different, that knows you processes emotions differently. You know what I'm saying? And until you understand that about yourself, you will be stripped of everything until you learn how to understand yourself. And when you do, you feel me? Listen, I roll with some die-hard hustlers and gangsters, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anything we lost, we're going to get it back tenfold. You feel me? But this time, we're going to do it naturally, being ourselves. Whether you choose to accept it or reject it is on you. But that ain't going to stop me from being me. 1,000%. And that just goes for anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I can see deep. You feel me? You may not like me, but it's something deep inside of you that makes you point the finger at someone you don't know. Now watch me dismantle that whole shit. You feel me? And you're going to be able to be your true, authentic self. You feel me? So again, listen and understand. It's nothing wrong with being who you are, but don't let nobody down talk you so much that you change into the animal they want you to be because you feel as if being different is too outside the box. Being different is where the prize is. You know what I'm saying? Being different is where you create change. Being different is where, you know what I'm saying? It allows people to feel safe. That's all I want in my life, is to be able to feel safe being me. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't feel like I'm safe, oh, trust me, baby, I will walk away with a quickness. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel as if you have anything you can give me if you're not allowing me to be safe. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.